Good morning, everyone. It's Curly K here. It is Lotto Friday, January 9th, 2026, and we are about to get into the free trade idea of the day. Now, as you can see, I'm actually looking at Tesla to start off the morning. The reason why is because we are responding from the AWR, and we also have this piercing line candle on the daily time frame. Now, that piercing line candle is a bullish reversal candle. And because we're actually forming that at the lower AWR, there is a possibility that we might try to get a continuation to the upside. And so I want to make sure that I take part in that if we do move to the upside. However, the strat teaches us to be prepared in either direction. So without further ado, let's go ahead and mark this out. So we have our call entry. And since we found it on the day, we will label it as such. Let's move over to the 4 hour to see if we have anything else. We do. We have an insight candle, but we're slightly above the daily call entry, but I'm still going to mark it out because we're not extremely above that. We might get a pullback and we may actually re-trigger that entry. So I do want to make sure that I have it mapped out. I'm going to go over to the hourly time frame to see if it gives us an earlier entry for puts because that 4 hour is quite low. And so I'm going to use that for the put entry. But I am still going to mark out the 4 hour. All right, so you see the difference. This gives you a much earlier entry, almost a little over $2. So that's the reason why I did that. And now let's figure out our magnitude. So if we drop, I could see us going as low as 420.62. And that would be our ATR target. And now let's just map out our price targets. See if we have anything lower, and we do. Feel like that is it, and it is. All right, so now that we have that, let's also go and pull out our price targets for the upside. So we're looking at about 451.08. And let's map out our price targets to the upside based on the 4 hour. All right. So let's go ahead and discuss what we should be looking at when it comes to our strike prices. To the upside, I would opt for anything in the money to 445 for Tesla. And then to the downside, I would say anything in the money to 425. So 445 up, knowing that it could get all the way to 451.08. And then to the downside, I would opt for anything in the money to 425, knowing that it could go as low as 420.62. So that's what I'll be looking for Tesla. Now, in this video, surprise, surprise, I actually wanted to do two free trade ideas. I will not do this often, but I got some good news and I just want to pay it forward. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the next trade that I'm also watching, which is going to be on Meta. All right. So on Meta, we have this dragonfly doji candle. So if we look at this candle, what it explains to us is that we had an aggressive push to the upside, where as you can see, the sellers tried to pull it way down here, but the buyers came in and defended that low and actually pushed it up. And so whenever you hear the word doji, just know that it means essentially the open and the close are essentially the same thing. And so, with that being the case, we have this beautiful dragonfly doji candle. The requirement is that a dragonfly must form in a downtrend, and it typically signals a reversal to the upside. Now, a reversal is validated by a break above. It doesn't mean that it has to get this dramatic continuation to the upside. However, it is something to pay attention to for the possibility of a move to the upside. And again, the strat teaches us to be prepared in either direction. So let's go ahead and map this out. So we have our call entry here. Let's figure out what our magnitude is to the upside. All right, so we're looking at about 659.06. Okay, so that will be our magnitude to the upside. Now let's figure it out to the downside. You can actually see if we get an earlier entry off of the 1 hour. We do, we're slightly below it. So for this one, I actually am going to do the same thing. Just mark out the 1 hour and also have the 4 hour marked out as well. So put entry 1 hour, and then this will be the 4 hour put entry. And let's figure out what our magnitude is to the downside. So 633.01. Last thing that we have to do is map out our price targets so that we can know what our strike prices are. So this would be our ATR target. All right, and now let's map out our price targets off of the 1 hour. Let's see here. And let's just tackle these as well from the 1 hour time frame. And we're gonna just map it down. So let's see here. So that would be 1. And then we have to close this gap that we have here. So I'm going to hide this so you can actually see. So we have a little bit of a gap over here. Let's see if we, yep, we do have to close that gap. Now we have it closed, and then we can just map it down. All right, so it looks as if, yeah, that's slightly lower. So we don't need this one because it falls below the ATR target. So we don't need that one. So we're going to go ahead and remove it. And let's talk about our price targets, or our strike prices rather, to the upside as well as the downside. So for the upside, for a strike price, we can look at anything in the money. I would opt for a 655. So for calls, anything in the money to 655. And then to the downside, I would opt for anything in the money to 635. All right, everyone. So that is your free trade ideas for today. If you like these videos and want to see them continuously coming in, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share them with a friend or a family member. I hope to see you in baggage claim. Have an amazing day. Bye.